It's always interesting to hear what Jimi Hendrix thought of other musicians, and in particular, what he thought of other guitarists. Now, you may or may have not heard that Hendrix once named Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top as one of his favorite guitarists. This would have been prior to the formation of ZZ Top, and Hendrix early on took a shine to Billy Gibbons as a player and befriended him. And not only that, Hendrix brought Gibbons' early band Moving Sidewalks on tour with him and also brought Gibbons into room next door to him. Now let's listen to Billy Gibbons talk about how when he was on tour with Moving Sidewalks and Jimi Hendrix, Jimi brought him over from next door and asked him to help him figure out what a certain guitar player was doing on the guitar. And here we go. Let's listen to Billy Gibbons talk right here.
He made arrangements for me to take a room directly adjacent from the room he occupied night by night by night. And at the time, he had a couple of guys that would bring in a record player so he could play along and do hotel room warm-ups and practice. And I remember he summoned me over and he said, how do you think this is done? Well, he was listening to the first record by the Jeff Beck Group. And I said, Jimmy, I said, you're asking me how Jeff Beck does this. I guarantee you Jeff Beck wants to know how you do it.
That's a very funny story, and it sheds some light on the way that Hendrix looked at other guitar players. Of course, if you're a Hendrix fan, you already know that he looked at every guitarist that came his way as a source of inspiration. But I think here, the fact that he brought Billy Gibbons on tour with him and had Billy Gibbons' room next door to him showed that he really wanted to share his musical discoveries and adventures with somebody. And I think it's a great honor for Billy Gibbons that that's who he chose to do it. Now let's try to pin down a couple of reasons why Jimi might have wanted to invite Billy Gibbons so close into his orbit like this. Well, first of all, Billy Gibbons was very young, at 18 or so, and his band, Moving Sidewalks, had not been really attained a high profile. So Jimi probably wanted someone who was, to his mind, on the cutting edge of what was going on with the younger people, who still had a roots in the blues, who still had tremendous abilities on the guitar, and also someone that had a great enthusiasm for music itself. Another thing that I think that he really valued in his relationship with Billy Gibbons is the fact that even when you listen to Billy here, he doesn't seem starstruck. He seems honored, but up for it. He seems like he's willing to be there and, participate with Jimi and play with him and jam with him, but yet not be overwhelmed by the opportunity. And I think when he said to Jimi about, well, I guarantee you Jeff Beck is trying to figure out what you're doing, is not only true, but it shows the fact that he wanted Jimi to realize that most guitarists, himself included, look up to Hendrix. And I think the fact that Hendrix was willing to talk to Billy Gibbons and say, hey man, how do you think Jeff Beck is doing this, shows that deep down inside, Hendrix saw himself as just another one of the guys, just another player looking for the next riff, the next lick, and the next opportunity to grow as a guitarist. This is what I think, but what really matters is what you think. So if you have an idea about this or any other topic connected to classic or contemporary music, please drop it in the section below, and remember to like and subscribe. Also check out the join button that's available now. If you choose to become a channel member, you'll gain access to members-only videos, polls, badges, and other cool perks you'll see when you click on the button. You can also help support the channel by clicking on the Buy Me a Coffee link, going to the Buy Me a Coffee site, and leaving a donation. Every little bit helps this channel stay strong. Thanks a lot.